Hey, what's going on out there, YouTube? This is SCL0320.
It's your boy Joe Johnson.
Alright, Sam. Dude, first of all, Joe, you're awesome. I just have to go and take on record like you're awesome, man.
Well, thank you.
This guy, he's sick. I technically got him sick. I'm at 75% capacity. He's at roughly 50, if that.
Yeah,
and
sounds about good.
So right now he's got his Barry Manilow voice going on. Y'all seen me sick up here before, but we couldn't disappoint. We had to go and talk about this awesome movie we just saw tonight, The Guardians of the Galaxy, Marvel's brand new movie, the shot in the dark here, y'all. Guardians of the Galaxy, starring Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Dave Bautista, Bradley Cooper, so many different awesome actors, even Meryl Streep. I mean, they spared no expense for all the different actors, but it's really not just about the actors for this movie, it's about the characters and the way that the characters interweave into this. And this is one of my favorite movies actually this summer, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and get into it, because what we're going to do on Sunday, we're going to be collaborating with possibly 4 to 3 different other YouTubers, and we're going to be doing a full spoiler review recap of what we thought about the movie and all the ins and outs of how awesome that the visuals and every single character and how they combine and what's going on to phase 3 or phase 2 of the Marvel Universe. So off the gate, we were thinking about just the scope of the movie. The movie was just beautiful, y'all. We looked at it in IMAX 3D, and to be honest with you, that was one of the better 3D movies I've seen. I didn't even look at it on a full IMAX screen. I didn't look at it at the Smithsonian like I really wanted to. But just everything that was popping out at you was amazing. I mean, did you like it as far as, I guess, the visual effects?
Most definitely, man. Like, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. The amount of detail and the sheer scale of the CG work was just amazing.
I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, like they did complete cities, complete environments, straight CG.
Yeah. I mean, I think the only thing I can really compare it to, you remember Star Trek Into Darkness? Mm-hmm. Like the scale is that wide, but the way the feel of it, it feels like a Star Trek mixed with a Star Wars-esque kind of feel to it. Like, as far as just the visual immersion of it, it's pure science fiction creation. Like, it's worlds that we've never seen before, but then characters. The characters were just beautiful. Every single character has a life of their own. It's believable. It's like you're taking yourself, you starts off really on Earth initially, 1988, and then it just goes from there to so many different galaxies and so many different characters, and you're just put into this world, and it keeps you in this warm kind of feeling the whole entire time, the way I kind of felt with it. I was like, I enjoyed it, you know what I'm saying? I guess what was the standout visual effect that you kind of felt for it?
I forgot the name of the city, but it's
Nowhere?
Nah. It was the one where the one that they was trying to attack the main city.
Mm-hmm. I guess you can just describe it.
But like most of the city was white, and I think it was an island type city. Mm-hmm. But anyway, the city was like you said, it's on the same scale as Star Trek. In my opinion, I feel like they went in more detail in Star Trek, because the city, you'll know when you see it if you watch the movie. Yeah. It really stands out, and it's like, wow, it's like really they made this from, you know what I'm saying, from pretty much scratch.
Yeah.
And the amount of detail in every aspect, everywhere you look on screen, is just really good.
Yeah, I felt like they took full advantage where with DC's, and I don't want to go and compare, but with the Green Lantern movie, what they could have done it to this scale, but they scaled it back, they kept it refined and closed in on Earth, instead of really immersing you into what else is out there. And that's what Marvel got right with this, whereas the Green Lantern could have been that. So many different characters on the outside, but I just really enjoyed the visual effects. I mean, I have to get the visual effects for this for a 10 out of 10. But the music, y'all. The music. I don't go into much music. I don't do that many music reviews. Y'all require me to do some, I'll do some. But I am going to buy this soundtrack. This is got the feels. Like it goes from the 80s back all the way to the 60s to some of the most classic music scores, and it all centers around Peter Quill or Chris Pratt's character, Star-Lord, and like he has this it's kind of a mixtape, and he keeps it with him at all times. It's got some of the most amazing artists on it and songs that you're gonna immediately gravitate towards, and they fit at the right times for every single scene. And I mean, we saw it from the trailers, but this, I'm gonna buy this soundtrack. I mean, you can buy these from different artists that were on this album, but just for the mix, it was just epic. I really liked it.
Yeah, man.
So I'll probably give the music a 10 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? But the characters. So anyway, we've got the main characters, which is, like I said, Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Dave Bautista, Vin Diesel playing Groot, Bradley Cooper playing the Rocket Raccoon. You got so many different characters. I mean, even, this is small spoiler alert, but Josh Brolin makes his debut as Thanos. I'm not gonna say any more than that, but that's all I can say about it. But it's so many different characters in it, but the main core characters, they all have meat. And they're all touched on so delicately and intimately. Like, there's a real passion that's driven from the source material of the comics and the mythology of these characters, but you gravitate and you can equate with what they're going through. And you can see how even like a broken record, like all of them, they have so many different like losses and pains and skill sets that you're like, how do these people work together? But you equate to them so much, you can see where their real heart is through their performances, and everybody does it so well. I'm gonna talk about my favorite character. I think that Chris Pratt Star-Lord is one of my favorite characters that I equated with, because from when you see him when he's a little kid to the point that he is at the very end, you see how much layers this character has. And it's not just the fact that he's got a heart to be able to protect people, but that he's trying to balance these environments that he's been put in. Like, he's been taken completely out of his element, and he does such a good job of staying to that level of like the heroic, like the jerkish, the Han Solo-ist kind of character mentality, but at the same time he just re-evolves the character of what it means to be a hero and outside of Earth. You know what I'm saying? I just really enjoyed this character. And I think you said your favorite character was Rocket. What did you feel about that, I guess?
What?
Oh, the Rocket.
Rocket.
The raccoon.
Yeah, he was a good character, man. Yeah, he was a pretty good character. I didn't realize that he had such a immense backstory. Being a character who was created, you know what I'm saying? So, and they go into that in the movie as well. And yeah, the way his emotions come out, you know what I'm saying? This is really good. It's really good. You know, and also like, he's pretty crafty and creative character. Weapons master. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he's a wild one. Look out for that guy.
And that was played by Bradley Cooper. Bradley Cooper does a good job for the voice for that. Yeah. He does such a great job of bringing you into that world of that character. He has really emotions through his character, through different things that happen. But another character you talked about was Michael Rooker's character. He plays Yondu, who's like, I guess, kind of the mentor initially for Star-Lord. Yeah. You liked his character too?
Yeah, man.
What was it about his character, I guess?
Just he was kind of, he was odd. He was peculiar, and like he had like, oh man, he was a supportive character, but you couldn't figure him out. And also he was cool. Like, you'll see in the movie, he has this weapon, which I won't really tell you how he manipulates his weapon, but it's so freaking cool. Yeah. And not only that, but the way he talks, his accent, you know what I'm saying, he's just a character in himself, and it's just like, he's really fun to watch and try to figure him out. even though it's kind of a difficult thing to do. And him and Star-Lord, they have an interesting relationship, and so seeing those two characters interact, man, it was really interesting. That was really entertaining. It was really entertaining. So he's a supporting character, but at the same time, he's very original. Very original character.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I think I'm gonna spend more time actually talking about the acting and the story, the actual story's characters than I am the story. The story is amazing, but I'm gonna talk about more of that in the spoiler review. But I have to touch on like Dave Bautista, Vin Diesel's character, Zoe Saldana's character. Even I'll start on the villain. Matter of fact, Lee Pace, Ronan. This dude is something serious. Like I mean, they did a great job with Sebastian in the role of Winter Soldier and Captain America, but this villain, they've never come up against anything like him. It's like taking Loki and making him something that's pure evil that you cannot even beat on a hand-to-hand combat level. And I mean, this dude is so bold that he'll get up in Thanos' face, and that right there. I think that Lee Pace did a great job of just portraying such a dark character. When you look into this dude's eyes, it's just serious, man.
Yeah, man.
I never seen like a villain go out like that in such a small, like, I don't know, it's a small amount of time that he had to actually play his role, but he had a presence about him.
Yeah, man.
He did a good job with that. But Bautista, Dave Bautista, I was looking for his character to be so like stupid and weird, and I know the character Drax is like one of the more combative, the Drax the Destroyer and whatnot, but the way that he talks, he like, it's so funny because when he talks, it's like he puts so much emphasis on the literal, and he's very intellectual. But he takes everything literally, and it's so funny. Like when something happens or whatever, he's like, "That's not funny. What? That's not what I meant. What?" And he shows that he's grown as an actor, and it's the same thing even with Vin Diesel's character, because Vin Diesel, he did a great job with the Iron Giant in portraying like a character with limited amount of dialogue, but expression of value of the inner self of what this character is really all about. There are times where all Groot's main words are "I am Groot," but the way that Vin Diesel transforms how that language can equate through Rocket, like Rocket is kind of like the interpreter, but you can tell a lot of times what he means through his expression. A lot of that has to do with the CG, yes, but a lot of it actually plays on Vin Diesel because that's motion capture, and on top of that, how he pronunciates the words and how he actually equates, and it's just such a good art to see how these actors are doing. I mean, even Zoe Saldana, like there were times where I was looking at her, I was like, that's not Zoe. You know what I'm saying? Like she came into a character that's not like the character she normally, just kind of on a combat level, but you can tell that this is a whole different kind of character to her, and it's foreign. Like even her relationship with Peter Quill is foreign to her. And you can kind of see that sincerity about her. Like, I don't understand who this dude is, but he's different. You know what I'm saying? So I really loved acting in this. I had to give the acting actually maybe a 9 out of 10. Like, this is one of the most funnest roles. They're all hilarious. They're all in it to win it. They are true sci-fi characters. And a lot of them, I guess, dare I say, like, you know, Star Trek. You know, you think of like Chewbacca, you think of Han Solo, you think of Luke Skywalker. Those are epic, iconic characters. And they might have made a working for themselves doing this. I don't know. You think these kind of like more iconic characters that can kind of stand a little bit longer? I guess the test of time?
Oh, most definitely. I feel like that. You know, I think, because like going into the movie, I thought like the story would completely revolve around the main character, the Star-Lord, you know. But there's a scene in the movie where Groot and Rocket, they like the camera shows them and how like they're fighting in their partnership, and like you get to see that. And man, these guys throw down, man, and it's just like these characters each bring something new to the table, and they have so much. Each character is a good solid character.
I think the word that comes to my head is like unpredictable. Unpredictability and a passion about something, for something, working towards something, you know what I'm saying? So I really loved it. I really loved it. So to keep it short, I'll go into the story and I'll talk about what the synopsis is. In the far reaches of space, an American pilot named Peter Quill finds himself in the object of a manhunt after stealing an orb coveted by a villainous person named Ronan. That's all the synopsis says on IMDb. But there's so much more to this story than just what I just read. And there's so many connections to not just Marvel characters, but human characters. Like, if you think of a movie, a random movie that you would never expect to be mentioned in this movie, it will be mentioned. If you think of like the weirdest, driest humor as something simple, they'll equate it into like they're having a serious conversation about how they're gonna actually live, how they're gonna make it through this next stage, how they're gonna make it to this world without somebody finding out this. And it's always keeping you guessing. And that is, to me, the epitome of great science fiction story writing. The scripting was amazing. I mean, I have to give it to the director. Like, he did a great job. And I think it's Peter Gunn. What is it? Is it? No, it's James Gunn. It's James Gunn. James Gunn, I think that he did an amazing job picking how he was gonna, I guess, portray the characters, and at the same time ground us in the mythology of who these characters really are. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, he's had other movies notable, which is not really all that good, some of them, but Super, I remember the movie Super, and it was so dark and dreary, but I was like, if they do it right, and they keep that CGI element, that science fiction element, then he's gonna just run with it. And he excelled. He did a great job with the story. I'm not gonna go into the details of who, what, where, when, why. All you need to know that this is gonna be a whole new world for Phase 3. We'll talk about it more in spoiler review. If you want to know more, go to the spoiler review. What is the last thoughts you can think of on the story without going into too many spoilers?
The entire plot, man. Like, this movie was so original. And nothing, I couldn't find anything about this movie that was cliche.
Nah, it's completely original.
Yeah, like this joint, the plot, the way it takes place, you know what I'm saying? You think they're gonna go in one direction and they go in a different direction. It's just like, wow, this is really interesting. And it's like, it's really like the producers, like through this whole production, they thought about any loose ends that didn't make sense.
Yeah.
And they like, all right, this doesn't make sense, so we're gonna. It's not cliche. I've watched a lot of action movies, and you know, you can tell, okay, good versus evil. You know what I'm saying? This is how the good guy's gonna win. You know that. You know before 30 minutes in the movie how they're gonna beat the bad guy. But this one, it's so good. The plot is so good, man. You gotta watch it. Check it out.
Yeah, highly recommend this movie. I give it a thumbs up. I'm pretty sure Joe gives it a thumbs up. He's stunning.
I give it 2.
All right, 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. I mean, you can look across the board, even on the review side. Like, everybody loves this movie. This movie does have a lot of violence, some cussing. Some of it's mild, some of it's not. So maybe kids from age 8 on up. But this, believe it or not, this is one of the better Marvel movies they've come up with. The most original by far. But, like, it was a sleeper hit. I didn't expect it to go to this level. I mean, it was kind of hyped up, so I was kind of, like, building myself up. But, you know, I really enjoyed this movie. So, anyway, if you like this, please leave a like below. If you have any comments or thoughts about it, please leave a comment below. If you would like to know at what time frame we're going to actually try to release this live viewing or Google Hangouts spoiler-free review on Sunday, let us know in the comments below, and then we'll give you a message back of what time around roughly we're going to start it. But it should be really awesome, so please tune in around that time frame. But yeah, that concludes our review for Guardians of the Galaxy by Marvel. Great acting, great action. You had said, what did you say? This is just epic.
It was a thrill ride.
This was a thrill ride, and by far It's one of my favorites this year. But anyway, we're out. I'm feeling a little sick. I just took some medication, and Joe's definitely needs some tea and medication. Y'all have a good night.
Sleep.
Deuces, everybody.